Hello. Yeah, okay. So basically, yeah. So my screen visible, right? So basically, what I will do. So in a today's session, I will learn you about the top 25 interview question. So uh, if I think my screen visible, right? So I will. So hello everyone and welcome to the Star Importer YouTube channel. So in this video, I will show you I will explain you the top 25 interview question and answer. So this is for the beginner to 2 years experience candidate. Okay. So in between, if you have any query, any question, you can ask. So basically, you can go for the our YouTube channel and can uh, uh, watch the another video as well. So basically, this session I will conduct for the top 25 interview question and answer for the beginner. And if you have the 2 years experience, then this video also useful for you. So without further delay, we'll start our session. Okay. So basically, if I tell you the top 25 interview question, then might be if you are going for the any interview, so this interviewer might be ask you this top 25 interview question. So basically, first interview question is that ask that key. Basically, what is the SQL? So basically, SQL stand for Structured Query Language, and it is a programming language that will use for the managing the relational database system. Okay. Then the second question that asked during the interview, that what is the database? So basically, a database is a organized collection of the data stored in a store and access electronically. It will be provide a way of to store, organize, and retrieve the large amount of data efficiently. Okay. So basically, if you check, so for example, there is a database, and in between that there is a SQL. So SQL is a programming language. This programming language we will use for the retrieving the data from the database. Okay. So for example, user application. So for example, if any the banking application, if you log in using your user ID or password, then we will type your user ID. Then you can type your password. So based on this information, we will retrieve the data from the backend, and your dashboard will be shown for you. Okay. So this is a simple example of the SQL. So SQL basically backendly it will be work on the data. It will be useful for the retrieve the data from the large amount of data. Okay, so basically, this about the SQL and the basically database that you know. Okay, so then question number three, what is the primary key? So basically, primary key is a column or combination of the columns that uniquely identify each row in a table. Okay, so basically, it enforce that in entity integrity rule in a relational database system. Okay, so basically, the all if you know the primary key. So basically, primary key is a unique, then it will be not null, and one primary key in a one table. So basically, if you check, this is a student table. In this student table, there is a roll number and a student name, department ID, and mark. So we apply the primary key on the roll number. Okay. So basically, why we apply the primary key on the roll number? So basically, if you check if you check the column the values, so it will be unique, then it will be not null, and also it will be one primary key in a one table. So that's the call we call as a basically the key that uniquely identify in a table, that we call as a primary key. Okay, so question number 4, what is the foreign key? So the foreign key is a combination, it is a column or combination of the column that establish a link between the data in a two table. Okay, so basically if you check, there is a two table, student table and department. So basically in this two table, in a student table there is a department ID, and in a department table there is a department ID as well. Okay, so in a department table, this department ID act as a primary key. Okay, and in a student table it will be act as a foreign key, and we will establish a relation between this these two table using the student dot department id and equal to department dot department id. So it will be established the relationship between the two table. Okay, so basically this is the purpose of the foreign key, and also it ensure the referrer integrity by enforcing the relationship between the tables. Okay, so it will be also establish the relationship between these two table. Okay, so then the next, so question number 5, what is the normalization? So basically this is again the important question that will be asking during the interview. So basically normalization is a process of the organizing the data in a database. Okay, organizing the data in a database to minimize the redundancy and the dependency. Okay, so it will be involve the breaking down a table into the smaller table and establish the relationship between them. So basically, if you check in this the picture, that basically the first of all the unnormalize the data. So data in a unsorted order. Okay, so basically it will be not having any order. So then what happen in a normalization? We will break down this table into the smaller table. Okay, and establish the relationship between this two table. Okay, so basically what happen in a normalization, there are different type of the type of the normalization we can apply over the data, and we will take the data from this database. Okay, so basically if you check the different type of normalization, so there is a first nf, then second nf, and then third nf, and after that vcnf. So this is the four type of the data different type of the normalization. Okay, then question number 7, what is the difference between the union and union all? So again, this is a very important question. So basically, the union and union all basically useful for the whenever we getting the data, we will combine these two data from the database. So basically, the in that the difference between union and union all. First of all, we know that ki what happen in a union and what happen in a union all. Okay, so basically, the if you check this is the two database. Okay, so for example this is the two tables, so a1 and b1. Okay, so whenever we apply the union, so if you check, so in a union, remove the duplicate row from the combine and combine the reverse set. Basically it will be take only the unique record from both side table. It will be remove the duplicate record. Okay, so if we apply the union on these two table like a1 and a2, then we will get this output. If you check in a a1 table, there is a 1 2 3 4 these records, and in a b1 table 1 1 3 and 5 records. So basically what happen when we apply the union, so basically whatever the duplicate records like this one repeatedly the two times in a b1, so it will be we will take only the one time, and after that 2, after that 3, after that 4 and 5. Okay, so the repeated the data it will be eliminated in a union. So basically if you check, there is a 3, and here also 3, so 3 repeated twice, so we will take only one time. Okay, then what happen in a union all? So the union all include all the row, and it will also include the duplicate record as well. So if we perform the union all on this two table, then what happens? So A1 and B1. So basically what happened, the all the duplicate record it will be take place. Okay, so if you check, the first of all it will be take all the data from A1 table like 1 2 3 and 4, and after that again it will be take the data from B1, so 1 1 3 and 5. So same it will be repeated. So this is the basic difference between the these two table, these two, union and union all. So basically union remove the duplicate records, and instead in a union all it will be include the, all the records, including the duplicate. So this is the difference between the union and union all. So then, the question number 8, what is a transaction in a SQL, and it is a stage of the transaction. So how many stage transaction will flow? So basically what happen in a transaction, so basically the transaction is a sequence of the SQL statement that are the executed as a single logical unit of the work. So basically the transaction is a SQL statement, and it will be executed as a single logical unit. Okay, so this is the definition of the transaction, and it will be also data consistency, then integrity by either the committing all the changes or rolling them into the back if any error will be occur. So basically, this is the general definition of the transaction. So transaction is the sequence of the SQL statement, and it will be executed as a single logical unit. Okay, so if you check in this, in the below image, basically the transaction stages also it will be asking that key what are the different type of transaction stages. So basically, when the transaction will start, so first of all it will be start, then it will be active. For example, we will take the one example like student table. So in this student table we will updating the student table and assigning the marks plus 10. Means basically whatever the marks existing in that table we will add 10 more grace mark. Okay, and we apply the condition like department id equal to 1. So basically when we execute this transaction, this is basically the transaction because of we work on the updating the data on the database. Okay, so initially it will be start, and after that it will be activated. Okay, so transaction will be activated when we ready for the testing. Okay, ready for the execution. Then what happen there, either there are two possibility. So first one is the partially committed, and second one it will be fail. So whenever we execute this query, either it will be partially committed or it will be fail. Basically, if for example, if we updating the student table and adding the 10 marks. Okay, but there is a department id equal to 1, but if some error will occur, for example there is a student, whatever the student or the department id that not available in the database, or if you getting any error or a deadlock happen, that time what happen, this transaction will be fail. Okay, and then what after that it will be aborted. So basically the transaction will be killed, and after that it will be last stage is the end. So basically start and end, this is the in between that there are different stages. If the transaction will be committed, okay, so for example the update statement work fine, then what happen, then we need to commit the transaction. So when we use the begin transaction, then it will be also we need to either we can commit the transaction or we can roll back the transaction. So then in that case it will be transaction will be successfully completed and it will be ended. Okay, so this same example and that the stages also explained in a below the transaction stage. So basically this is a transaction, this is a one transaction, it will be begin. So initial stage, then the transaction either it will be committed or rollback. If the rollback will happen, then transaction will fail, and if the transaction will be committed, then transaction will be successfully completed. Okay, so this is a about the transaction and its stage. Okay, so next, the question number 9. So the very interesting question, that is the what is the deadlock. Okay, so basically what happen in a deadlock, so basically deadlock occur when two or more transaction are waiting for each other, and to the release the resources or and resulting in a circular dependency. Okay, so basically the result none of the transaction can be processed, and the system may come unresponsive. Okay, so basically the example for that, so for example this is a, you can check this the image. So in this image there are two processes, so process 1 and process 2. Okay, so basically if you check the process, if you check the process 1, it will be waiting for the resource 2, and the resource 2 will allocated for the assigned for the process 2. Okay, so that means ki this is a process, process P1, it will be waiting for the resource 2, but it will be allocated or assigned for the process P2. Then again what happen in a process 2, it will be waiting for the resource 1, but this resource 1 assigned for the process 1. So this is the one circular transaction, so circular dependency. When this circular dependency will happen, there is a deadlock will be occur. Okay, so deadlock in a database transaction, when this situation will be is there, then in that case deadlock will be occur. So if you check, so in the practically if you check, so for example P1 is a process 1, we can consider this process 1. In that what we will do, the select star from student where the roll number equal to 4. So we are selecting the data where the roll number equal to 4. Okay, in a process P1 and a resource. So basically the first process will means basically the resource is a student table. Okay, so resource means we can say that this is a table and we are working on this table, we are selecting the data from this table, so it will be one type of resource. Okay, and what happen in a process 2, again same time what happen, the process 2 will update from the student, set the mark equal to marks plus 10 and where the roll number equal to 4. So if you check in this the example, first process 1, it will be selecting the data from the student and where the roll number equal to 4, and second process to updating the data of the student where the and setting the marks equal to marks plus 10 where the roll number equal to 4. So same roll number uh, in a process 1 selecting, and in a process 2 it will be updating. So what happen in both side, the resource will allocated for the P1, and also it will be asking the for the update that resource, same resource for the P2, so student table. Okay, in that case what happen, none of the process 1 will be process 1 or process 2 not will completed, it will be again it will be depend on each other. So in this case there is a deadlock will be occur. Okay, so this is the some simple example that you can explain to the interviewer. Okay, so then the question number 10, what is the difference between the database and schema? So basically what happened in a the database, what is the main, again that the main interviewer ask you that what is the difference between database and schema. So basically the database is database is a container that hold a multiple object such as the table, views, index or procedure. It is a represent a logical grouping of the relational related data. Okay, so basically if you the database, so basically database is a the combination of the schema, then object, then table, then indexes. So basically this will be including in a database. Okay, but the schema in the other side, if you check the schema is a content within the database, so it will also in contain in a database, and it that hold the object and definition, either the ownership or it provide the way of the organize and managing the database object. So the simple example that we can take place, so basically this is the database. If you check in this picture, so basically this is the database, and in that we have created the schema like the DBO. So student is a database and DBO is a schema. So basically we can write the schema like this way, select star from DBO dot student. Okay, so this is the main difference between the database and schema. Then question number 11, again the important question, the difference between char and varchar data type. So basically what happen in a character and the varchar data type. So basically the char data type, it will be used to store the character string of the fixed length. Okay, and in a varchar what happen, the varchar database, it will be used for the store the character string with variable length. So if you check the char and varchar, so basically the varchar means variable length, that means ki the length it will be not fixed. Okay, so basically the in a character, in a char data type, if the length of the string is less than the set or fixed length, then it will be padded with the extra memory space, okay, in a character data type. And in a varchar, if the length of the string is less than the set of the fixed length, then it will be stored as it is without the padding of the extra memory space. Basically, it will be not require the extra memory for the padding the space, but character data it will be required the additionally padding space or memory space. Okay, so character, the char stand for the character and var stand for the variable character. Okay, so then storage size of the character data type is equal to the n byte. It will be set as a length. Okay, but what happen in a varchar, the in a varchar the store size of the varchar data is equal to the actual length of the enter string in a byte. Okay, so basically this is the main difference between the character and varchar. And also you can also tell the different between like the character take the 1 byte for each character, but where the varchar it will be take 1 byte for the each character and some extra byte for the holding the length information. So basically in a below you can check in this picture. So basically memory allocation. So again memory allocation start with the 0th position. So for example, we declare the character data type and we will assign the length is a 10. Okay, and I am inserting the character string like the Praveen. Okay, so actual the character length is a 10. If you check 1 2 3 4 5 6, so the sixth position will be allocated, but remaining space will be extra allocated, so that the same explain in a different number 2. Okay, extra memory space will be allocated because of we created the fixed length. Okay, so character means this is the 10 length of the means this space will be allocated for the 10 memory. Okay, but what happen in a varchar, so varchar also we define the length is a 10, but it is a variable the character. So due to that, if you check the difference number 2, in a varchar it will be the or fixed length, it will be stored without the padded with the extra memory space. So it will be required whatever the required the number of length it will be take, and additionally additionally memory space which will be not not will be memory will be access. Okay, for that. So basically this is the difference between char and varchar data type. Okay, so then question number 12, what is the subquery and explain with the example. So basically what happen in a subquery. So basically subquery is a query nested inside the another query, and it is the use for the retrieving the data based on the result of the inner query. So basically what happen in a subquery, if you check, so basically this is the one query, so that we call as the parent query. So this is the main query. Okay, and in that main query we will create we will assign one more query. Okay, so this is a subquery, so that we call as a nested or inner query. So for example, if you check the example like the student and department table, so this is a two table, and whenever we write a query like this, select roll number, student name and marks from the student where the department id in. So after that, first of all what happen, so when we execute the subquery, then the first of all it will be subquery will be executed. In a subquery what happen, select department id from dbo.department where the department id equal to 1. So basically what happen, the result of this all query, it will be selecting the all the data whoever the belongs to the computer department or department id 1. Because of first of all it will be executed and it will be selecting the data or selecting the department id, and this department id will pass to the outer query, and outer query will be taking the data based on the subquery. Okay, so if we check the output of this query like the roll number, student name at marks, so roll number 1 and 2, if you check the roll number 1 and 2, this is the belong to the department id 1 that we passed by the subquery. So this is the one example that we can also tell during the whenever any ask you for the subquery, then you can tell with example. Okay, so then question number 13. So question number 13 about the different type of joins. So basically there are different type of joins available in a SQL. So out of that, inner join, left join, right join, full join, and cross join. So if you check the difference between the both of them, like inner join, it will be taking the combined data from the both side tables. So for example, this is the A table, B table, and if you join these two table using the inner join, then what happen? The inner join, in this inner join, the basically the common element from the both side table, that will be selected. Okay, and what happen in a left join? So basically in a left join, the all the data from left side table and with matching data from the right side table. Like if you check the all the data, it will be take from the A side table, and whatever the common table, common records from the B side table, that will be selected. And after that, the right join. So basically in a right join, what happen, all the data from the right side table, like A in a left side, B in a right side, all the data from the A side table, and with along with the common data from the both side table, so those data will be selected in a right join. Then the full join. So basically the combination of the inner join, left join, right join, or we can say that ki the result of the inner join, left join, right join, the result of these three joins, it will be, we know as a full join. So in a full join, all the data selected, basically either it will be matching or not match, the data will be, all the data from both side table will be selected. And then last one is the cross join. So basically what happen in a cross join? So basically in a cross join, the it will be creating the one concentric result. So basically all the element from one table match with another all the element. Okay, for example, in a table there is a 1 2 3 4, and B table there is a 1 2 3 4. This is a four record in a table and four records in a B table. In that case, if we cross join both table, then what happens? So this first one will be matched with 1, then this one match with 2, this one match with 3, again this one match with 4. So total four records for the first one. Then again again this is the again the for the 2 also the 4 records, then 3 also the 4 records, 4 also the 4 records. Then this is the output the for the cross join. So that's it in a in this section. So anyone having the any query, that then they can paste in the group. Okay, so can anyone having the question, you can use the chat box and you can ask the any question. Okay, fine. So I done my side. So if you have any query, any question, you can reach out me, and you can also check the another video on my YouTube channel. So I will share you the link for you that. So the thank you for the all of you for the join this call. So if you have any query for the regarding the any the SQL related query, then you can paste in a chat box. Okay, so we will conclude our call. Okay, so we were now we will end our call. So thank you all of you for the join this call. So I'm now we will end this the live stream. So thank you.